Elderberry. You can find elderberry jams and syrups in almost any health store every cold season, but picking them raw off the bush is a massive mistake. These dark purple berries grow in dense clusters throughout North America and Europe. Unripe or raw elderberries contain compounds that convert into cyanide once inside the body. Eating a handful raw, whether it's the berries, leaves, or stems, can cause nausea, heavy vomiting, severe dizziness, and diarrhea within a few hours. The good news is that heat destroys the toxin completely, which is why cooked elderberries are totally safe to eat. Ackee. Most people walk right past an unripe ackee without realizing it's holding a chemical weapon. This pear-shaped fruit is native to West Africa and eventually made its way to Jamaica, where it became the national dish. It comes with one non-negotiable rule: never eat it before it opens on its own. Unripe ackee contains hypoglycin A and B, compounds that block the body's ability to produce glucose. Eating it too early can trigger what doctors call Jamaican vomiting sickness, which drops your blood sugar to dangerous levels and can cause fatal seizures. The fruit is only safe once the outer pod splits open on its own to reveal the yellow flesh. Even then, the black seeds and pink inner lining remain strictly poisonous. Pangium edule. Pangium edule goes by the nickname football fruit because of its large brown shell, but eating it raw is an immediate death sentence. Growing in the coastal mangroves of Southeast Asia, this fruit hides a lethal concentration of hydrogen cyanide if you eat the pulp or seeds unprepared. The cyanide stops your red blood cells from absorbing oxygen, causing rapid chemical suffocation. Despite this, local communities in Indonesia have eaten it for centuries using a long preparation ritual. They boil the seeds, pack them in ash, and bury them under banana leaves for 40 days so the cyanide can ferment out safely. Pokeweed berries. Birds eat pokeweed berries all day long without a single problem. Humans cannot say the same. Pokeweed grows wild along road edges in eastern North America, so it's easy to stumble upon. It produces clusters of dark purple berries that look an awful lot like wild grapes. The berries are full of phytolactotoxin, a harsh chemical that damages internal cell membranes on contact. Songbirds are immune to this toxin because they eat them without breaking the inner seed. They're also the main reason the plant spreads so easily. For humans, ingesting the raw fruit leads to severe stomach cramps, bloody diarrhea, and a sharp drop in blood pressure. Older folk remedies use tiny, carefully cooked amounts, but the raw berry has never been safe to snack on. European mistletoe berries. The plant behind the Christmas kiss is not one you want anywhere near your mouth. Everyone knows mistletoe is a Christmas tradition, but few realize the white berries are actually parasitic weapons. Growing high up in host trees across Europe, this plant survives by stealing nutrients from its host. The sticky, translucent berries contain viscotoxins and lectins, which are specialized proteins that destroy tissue cells and slow your heart down. Swallowing them causes intense stomach pain, blurred vision, dangerously low blood pressure, and seizures. Severe poisoning is rare, but most recorded cases involve small children finding a decorative sprig hanging indoors. Yew berries. If you explore an old European churchyard, you'll likely spot a yew tree displaying bright red cup-shaped berries. The bright red jelly-like coating around a yew berry is called the aril, and it's genuinely sweet and non-toxic. Sealed inside it is a seed loaded with taxine alkaloids, which block the movement of calcium and sodium in your heart muscle. Biting down and cracking the seed gives you direct exposure to the toxin, which can cause an immediate drop in blood pressure and stop your heart within hours. What makes yew poisoning so terrifying is that it rarely gives you warning signs. Victims often just collapse suddenly. Deadly nightshade. The name is not an exaggeration. Deadly nightshade, known scientifically as Atropa belladonna, produces small black berries that taste quite sweet. They're native to Europe and Western Asia and grow naturally in damp, shaded woods. The shiny berries are packed with tropane alkaloids like atropine and scopolamine, which block key receptors in your nervous system and shut down involuntary bodily functions. Eating just 2 to 4 of these berries can kill a child by causing rapid heart rates, severe hallucinations, and lung failure. To make things worse, the berries actually taste quite sweet, leading to many accidental poisonings throughout history. Centuries ago, women used diluted extracts from the plant as eye drops to dilate their pupils, which is where the name belladonna, meaning beautiful woman, actually comes from. Physic or purging nut, jatropha. This green-yellow fruit was once hyped as a miracle crop, but it left a trail of ER visits behind it. Native to the tropics, the jatropha plant produces oily seeds that look a lot like smooth beans. Those seeds are loaded with curcin, a toxin that causes severe internal inflammation and destroys tissue linings. Swallowing even 2 or 3 seeds brings on violent vomiting, rapid dehydration, and organ failure. In the early 2000s, investors planted massive fields of jatropha to harvest its oil for green biofuel. The business models failed, but the massive wild plantations remain. Farm workers and children in these regions have been poisoned after mistaking the seeds for edible nuts. What comes next was built by evolution to be lethal on purpose. White baneberry, doll's eyes. Walking through an eastern North American forest, you might spot a plant that looks like it's staring right back at you. White baneberry grows small white berries with a distinct black dot in the center, which is exactly why people call it doll's eyes. The berries carry a quick-acting heart toxin, which acts as a severe sedative on human heart tissue. Eating even a few causes an almost immediate burning sensation across the mouth and throat. Your pulse drops rapidly, followed by severe stomach cramps. Large enough doses have triggered cardiac arrest, and the plant's unsettling look may be the best warning label it could possibly have. European spindleberry. In late autumn, this wild European shrub, the spindleberry, opens up bright pink pods to reveal neon orange seeds that look almost fake. It's a striking plant, but the fruit harbors a cocktail of cardiac glycosides and toxic alkaloids. The real danger here is the delay. You won't feel sick immediately after eating them. Symptoms usually take up to 12 hours to show up, starting with severe stomach cramps and progressing to internal bleeding and kidney damage. Oddly enough, while the fruit is dangerous, the wood of the plant is so tough that craftsmen historically used it to carve spinning spindles. Moonseed. This one is dangerous, specifically because it's a copycat. Moonseed vines produce small blue-black berries that closely resemble wild grapes, growing in the same forests during the same season. The real difference is on the inside. Grapes carry several small seeds, while moonseed carries one flat, crescent-shaped seed, which is exactly where the name comes from. The berries contain dorosine and related alkaloids that act on the nervous system. Foragers are taught to slice open every wild grape look-alike before eating it, purely because of this one plant. Strychnine tree. This tree's fruit gave crime writers a favorite weapon for over a century. Strychnos nux vomica produces an orange fruit packed with hard, disc-shaped seeds. Those seeds contain strychnine, a compound that overstimulates the nervous system and causes violent, uncontrollable muscle contractions. Strychnine poisoning turned up constantly in classic mystery novels, largely because the seeds were once relatively easy to get hold of. The compound is tightly regulated today, but the tree itself still grows wild across South and Southeast Asia. Manchineel. If you saw this growing on a beach in Florida, you'd probably mistake it for a sweet green apple. Spanish explorers gave it a much more fitting name, Manzanilla de la Muerte, or the Little Apple of Death. Guinness World Records lists it as the most dangerous tree on the planet. Taking just one bite causes immediate burning and severe blistering across your mouth and throat. What makes the tree even worse is its milky sap, which contains high concentrations of 4-bol. It runs through the bark, the leaves, and the fruit itself, and is caustic enough to blister skin on contact. Simply standing under the tree during a rainstorm is enough to ruin your day, as falling raindrops carry the sap and blister your skin on contact. This is exactly why local governments mark the trunks with red paint. Sea mango. Floating along maritime coastlines in the Pacific, the sea mango is a red fruit that looks like an inviting snack for an unsuspecting swimmer. The kernel inside the fruit contains tangerine, a powerful cardiac glycoside similar to digitalis. Once inside the bloodstream, tangerine disrupts your heart's natural rhythm and causes rapid heart failure. In 19th century Madagascar, the seed was used as a central part of judicial trials. An accused person was forced to eat the toxic seed paste. If they survived the poison, they were declared innocent. Suicide tree fruit, Cerbera odolum. This tree earned its nickname the hard way, and doctors are still working to catch every case. Cerbera odolum grows in coastal wetlands across South and Southeast Asia, producing a fruit that looks almost identical to an unripened green mango, but locals in India know to stay far away from it. Inside sits a kernel containing cerberin, a cardiac glycoside that disrupts the heart's electrical rhythm in a way nearly identical to prescription digoxin. It shuts down the sodium-potassium pumps in your heart cells, leading to cardiac arrest within a few hours. Because the kernel's bitter taste is easily hidden by strong spices, it was historically used in silent murder plots. The toxin is notoriously difficult to catch in a standard autopsy. In fact, researchers in India attributed over 500 deaths to this single fruit species between the late 1980s and late 1990s.